Kicking off in Doha, and it's the What's Gravity Challenge, a handcrafted high jump meet in partnership with Barshim. Harry invited a stacked Olympic caliber lineup to his home country in one of the most beautiful oceanfront venues in the entire world, treating them like royalty, just to end up kicking their asses, take the prize money, and send them all back home. Absolute legend behaviour. At 2.28 meters, the competition starts getting weeded out, and we're only left with 3. Barshim, biker glasses on, goes over cleanly first attempt for the lead.
Yes, thank you very much indeed.
While Wu and Harrison go over with some hefty clearances, but on their second and third attempts. And these placings would stick, as Barshim shows off his consistency, tickling 2.31 for a first time clearance to take the hometown win over Korea's Wu, who does hit the third attempt clearance, giving it a good wobble on the way over. Honestly, nothing but huge props to Barshim and the What Gravity Challenge. A well put together meet, and no doubt it'll only get better in future. And just down the road the very next day, the Doha Diamond League was on. And okay, you've probably heard. The highlight was by far Kung Fu Kenny Bednarek lighting the track on fire. But I'm telling you, the more unconventional events did go pretty hard. Off the gun, and Fanbele still has block work to do, but Kenny Bednarek leaves absolutely nothing to the imagination.
Lane 7 is Bednarek leading this, continues to go away, and he loves it here in Doha. He's going to win this one fairly comfortably, 19.6.
A steaming 19.61 seconds, a new personal best, and the most dominating sprinting performance of 2024. That's Courtney Lindsay, the second fastest in the world this year, in the lane next door. Bednarek has easily been having the best season so far in the sprints, shit-talking his way to an undefeated 2024, while also fearlessly matching up against everyone he can. The US 200 meter trials might be more exciting than the Olympics this year. The women's 800 meter was one of the most fascinating races I've ever seen. I've seen mentions of Mary Mora's pace-changing strategies, but this time I fully understood how annoying it is. She runs close to the pacer, leading the pack, just to slow down, creating a clump of athletes behind her. And you can see them almost banging into each other, causing extra stress and fatigue on top of an already fast-paced race. Just for her to bolt off with 100 to go, while everyone else wasted effort being uncomfortable, having to match her changing strides.
Mary Moraa, the world champion, takes the win, 157.
And it's an absolutely effortless win for her. She's fucking annoying to race, runs banger times, stacking up an undefeated 7-win streak in 2024, and she's barely even trying. Moraa is sweeping a Thing Mu and Keely Hodgkinson at the Prefontaine in a couple weeks, no doubt about it. And now, another stellar men's jumps competition, this time the long. In round 4, Jamaica's Carey Mcleod goes for by far the biggest jump of 2024.
Waiting for the right moment here, that wind still pushing strong. Oh, that's big! Whoa, that really has lifted him up.
8.52 meters. Unfortunately, this was accompanied by a freak wind, which was a little bit weird because most of the sprints were in legal conditions within the same hour. But with the presence of such a long jump, Olympic and world champ Tentaglo, 6th attempt, would give it a good effort, going a hefty 8.36 meters himself. And Ehammer, a Swiss multi-eventer, for 8.3 meters as well. Long jump might be coming back on the menu, fellas. The depth of the women's 100 meter hurdles is constantly yapped on about, and this is a perfect example why. A completely different race from the last Diamond Leagues, featuring none of the big four. The fastest being the current world leader, Tonya Marshall, who herself hasn't even run for Team USA before.
Well, really good start there from Marshall. Second to left, she leads at the moment, and hitting the barriers there is Johnson. Johnson's gone, but it's going to be a winner, I think, for Marshall. Marshall under some pressure there as she gets to the line on the near side. Wow, was that Kambunji?
And it's Kambunji stealing a win with only 0.05 of a second separating 4 athletes. 12.49 seconds for the winner and 12.54 for 4th. All times fast enough to win the last Diamond League in Shanghai. Also a bloody rough tumble for Levin, risking a concussion for some extra milliseconds, but she's okay apparently. I'm telling you, we are living in the peak hurdling generation. The men's javelin standings for 2024 have been pretty barren, but at Doha, out of nowhere, some big names actually turn up. Round 3, 33-year-old Jacob Vadlich goes number 2 in the world this year with a 88.38 meter throw, and it's mesmerizing when you see it happen.
Oh, he's throwing so well as the Czech. This is a desperately demanding event physically, but if you can stay in shape, you can get...
And that was looking to be that. But round 6 would see India's Neeraj Chopra, Olympic and world champion, who was also the most followed track and field athlete on Instagram. Shout out to No Context Track for that one. Digs deep for round 6 to just go shy of Edlich with his own 88.36 meter throw.
It's a good effort. That is an excellent throw. It's very close. What a competition from these two. Chopra will have to...
After crushing the 200 meter the other week, UK's Daryl Neita is back, but in the 100 this time, and up against America's Tamari Davis as her main competition. Davis is out like a rocket, but Neita claws her way back with her 200 meter speed.
Daryl Neita's coming very quickly, just gets it on the line, 10.98.
And she wins a race that she was losing for about 95 meters. 10.98 seconds for that 100th of a second win. So far, Neita going undefeated against the US's best. And in a year where we have 3 of the greatest of all time in the 400 meter hurdles still competing, it's number 3 showing his cards first, with a comfortable win and world lead.
His first 400 meter hurdles of the year, this for Dos Santos. He's well ahead at 200 meters, although CJ Allen trying to match him in the favor of the Brazilian around the crown of the Brent. He's looking very, very smooth indeed. But Dos Santos looking quite fantastic here. And that lead is stretching away. He's so powerful.
46.86 seconds for Alison Dos Santos. This event has been absolutely destroyed the past few years. But that is a time that only 4 other athletes have ever run faster than. That's a more than impressive threat for a seasonal debut. Also out in the longer distance, Beatrice Hibbert would lay down a new 5k world lead in a pretty comedic fashion. With 1 lap to go, she tries to pass on the inside, but Tay hogs lane 1. So Hibbert, almost like an annoyed parent who's had enough, just goes around the outside and puts on the burners, letting everyone know this is what happens when you piss her off.
Has blown away the opposition, including the race-long leader here, to take the win in 14.20.
And she's all smiles across the line. And to finish off the professional side of track this week, Jamaica would welcome an absolute sprint fest, recorded on either a cell phone or some random dude's tripod in the audience. This is raw athletics, baby. The hundreds would easily be highlighted by the most slept on female sprinter in history, Marie-Josee Ta Lou from the Ivory Coast. Aged 35, she opens with her fastest ever season debut, crushing this field, going 10.91 seconds. She is the 8th fastest sprinter in this event ever, and with an opener like this, it might just be the year she finally upgrades her 3 4th place finishes at the Olympics to a medal. The 200 would see Zharnel Hughes finally picking up steam and entering the beast mode he left 2023 in, taking down a stacked field of Curly, Coleman and Mateo, also handedly at that. 19.96 seconds, and he's pretty chuffed with it. But realistically, the hurdles probably did it better. The women's 100 hurdles was led by the world record holder Tobi Amusan to a new world leading time of 12.40 seconds. And again, 3 other women going sub 12.6. That's 8 women this week going 12.5 or under, and not even counting the college kids, and we know they did it too. While Daniel Roberts on the men's side continued to prove himself as the best hurdler in the world, for now. He's won the last 2 Diamond Leagues, and now a feisty race in Jamaica as well, finishing in 13.17 seconds. He's unbeaten across the 110 this year, and only one other person has run a faster time than what he just put out in Jamaica. And for the first field action of this meet, Prodigal's son Jaden Hibbert also continues his return to saving the men's triple jump, this time from a 12-step run-up. He goes for the 2nd farthest jump in the world this year, 17.57 meters, while also choosing to pass 3 of his 6 jumps. This is him slowly building back into it, jumping far enough to get silver at the 2023 World Champs, the 2022 World Champs, and even the Tokyo Olympic Games. He's got all that hype for a reason. And just before I finally finish up, someone finally did equal 17-year-old Christian Miller's 100-meter world lead. USA's Kendall Williams, 9.93 seconds with a 2.0 wind. And that was only half of what went on during the weekend, because across the Saturday and Sunday, the NCAA held their conference championships, and it was downright ridiculous. So stay tuned for a college-only feature coming in a couple days. See you next time.